नमोस्तुते व्यास विशाल बुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायत पत्र नेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमय प्रदीपः प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महते। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनीं सोतीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जन षट्पतैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः। श्री भगवानुवाच। We are in chapter 14 of the Bhagavad Gita, and till week before last we have studied the features of Triguna. Sattva, how does it manifest? Rajoguna, how does it manifest? Tamoguna, how does it manifest? How do these gunas manifest? We have been studying. So let me go to those verses again. We last did verse number 22. No, not 22. 20. We did verse number 20. Gunanetanatitya त्रीन्देहि देह समुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्युजरा दुःखै विमुक्तो मृतमश्नुते. So after describing the three gunas very elaborately, what are the features of sattva guna? How does sattva guna manifest itself? What are the features of rajoguna? How does it manifest itself? How does tamoguna manifest itself? We have seen. They are not something we are to use as a matrix to judge others. So you don't look for an exclusive sattva guna personality and this fellow is sattva guna. If this fellow is a sattva guna personality, how does he exhibit rajoguna tendencies? This fellow is rajoguna, how does he have tamoguna tendencies? Remember, all three gunas are present in all of us without exception. There is no exclusive sattva guna, there is no exclusive rajoguna, there is no exclusive tamoguna. There are various combinations. Rajoguna, the sattva guna high, Rajoguna low, Tamoguna even lower. One combination. Rajoguna high, Sattva-guna low, Tamoguna lower. One combination. Rajoguna high, Tamoguna second level, Sattva-guna third level. Tamoguna top level predominant, Rajoguna, Sattva-guna. All four types of combinations are possible in various permutations and combinations. It is not for us to judge how others behave. Say you see a sadhu, you say this person is a Sattva Guna Pradhana sadhu. He is an activity oriented sadhu, therefore he is a Rajoguna Pradhana sadhu. You don't come to such conclusions, it takes you away from the subject, leads you to a lot of distractions. It also happens if we read widely without understanding. There are so many books on Gita these days. There is a business publishing a book on Gita. And if you read very widely without understanding the basics, we get into such confusions. So what should we read? First, read the Shastra as a pramana. Pramana means of knowledge. As unfolded in a traditional manner by a Shrotriya Brahmanistha, one who has gone through study properly. So there are so many scientists, and let's say somebody's father is a mathematical genius, and the father teaches the son to do this, do that, do this and that, and then fellow goes to school and shows all this. You know what the teacher will say? They say, let your father win the Nobel Prize, you do it my way, otherwise you will get a zero. Because it's a traditional method of teaching. Otherwise it will not work for everybody. The genius is not born every day. So to understand this, we have to go to the traditional method of teaching. Who teaches traditionally? You will have to find out. I found out the traditional teacher and learned. You will have to find out. As of now, we are going through a proper tradition. I am following this Bhagavad Gita book, which is written by Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati, my teacher. So we go through this. It's a traditional study. So he says it's not meant for judging others. It is meant for looking at yourself. There are times of the day when you are Sattva Guna Pradhana, cheerful disposition, responsible, mindful. Okay, this is a Sattva Guna. You're so responsive, you're so mindful, you're kind, polite. It happens to you every day. Then the same person during some parts of the day changes and becomes a Rajoguna Pradhana person. Simple example. Somebody has parked his car in your car parking space. What happens? Will you cheerfully go tell the fellow, please remove your car? You should see the Rajoguna domination. Remove it in 5 minutes or you will be left with flat tires. Yeah, are you not like that? You're all like that. Tamoguna. Tamoguna is a certain intellectual laziness, a certain fatalistic attitude, a certain cynicism, sarcasm. Somebody goes and tells, this is what will happen. Nobody will come. This is a very simple response. Long ago, I don't know how long ago, there were some people who are organizing some seminars and things like that. And so the company's chairman met me in one of the meetings where I was gone for addressing a 20-minute meeting for addressing something on Bhagavad Gita style of talk. And I finished and then he told his PA, please check with Mr. Mohan, take his available time and please arrange a talk for our staff. The chairman got into his car and left. And this PA was known to me. He was working in a bank hitherto and then he changed and he joined this company. He was PA to this man. And he came to me and said, Mohan sir has said this. And he wants you to talk. I said, okay, please arrange. And you tell me, he said, what day is convenient to you? I said, it's convenient for me only on Saturday afternoons or on weekdays after 7 o'clock because I work 9 to 5. I don't have time in between. Can't you come on weekday afternoon? No, I can't come. So he says, sir, nobody will come, sir. So these are people there. I said, you're managing director. I said, issue a circular like that. If nobody comes, we will see that. Nobody will come, sir. So there are people like that. So these are people like that, and we have these tendencies in ourselves. Krishna says that in verse number 20 he says, Guna yeah, Dehi, the embodied one, Etan, these, Trin Gunan, the three gunas that are the causes of the body, Atitya. Atitya means crosses over. What happens to him? He is vimuktaha. He is released from what? Janma, mrityu, jara, dukkhaihi, and amritam ashnute. So he says one. There are three gunas in us, all of us, without exception. Three gunas are there. He says this Dehi, this BMS complex is called a Dehi. One who is able to cross over the three gunas. Careful, okay? That means you have these three gunas, but you should not let these gunas affect you. How beautiful. We'll see that. Okay. Then you have these three gunas, but these three gunas should not dictate your life. So when you do that, that is called Etan, these, Trin Gunan, these three gunas, Atitya, meaning these gunas can be there, will be there in the system, but they need not control your life. Okay, this is important. Lot of initiative in the Dehi's hands. Once you don't let these gunas control you, what is the result? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukkaihi, Vimuktaha. You are free from Janma, birth, Mrityu, death, Jara, old age, Dukkha, Vimuktaihi, you are free, and Amritvam, Ashnute, you gain immortality. Careful. Okay? What happens? If you are able to objectify, go back our earlier study. Emotions are known to you, objects of your knowledge. You are the knower. Knower, chapter 13. Kshetragya, different from Kshetra. You, the knower, know your emotions. Therefore, you are free from your emotions. The emotion is an object of your knowledge. You can objectify and see that the object doesn't control you. You have the initiative. You can take the initiative. Who is the karta here? The emotions are you. Very often we have let the emotions become the karta and we have given ourselves up to the emotions. So you as a knower of these emotions are free from the grip of these emotions. Knower. In the same way, do you know the sattva guna tendencies in you? Do you know the triggers which bring out sattva guna responses? Do you know the triggers? Sattva guna response is not a trigger. Sattva guna responses is a response. It is not a reaction. Rajoguna response is a trigger. It's a reaction. Are you able to objectify the triggers which causes Rajoguna reactions? Are you able to objectify the triggers which create tamoguna reactions? What are the rajoguna reactions? Aggressiveness, uh, arrogance, anger, harsh speech, uncompromising attitude, lack of compassion. We have all this. Are you able to identify the triggers which bring these gunas out? What are tamoguna attitudes? Sarcasm, cynicism, procrastination, indolence, delusion, insouciance. All these are tamoguna tendencies. What are the triggers which bring out these? That is the meaning of gunan, etan, atitya. What kind of gunan? Trin gunan, trin gunan. These three gunan, etan, trin gunan, atitya. If you are able to objectify these three gunas, what happens to you? You are free from janma, mrityu, jara, dukkha, vimuktaha. How? There is a trigger, a rajoguna trigger, which goes to the past, creates regret in you. You are angry now. You are heated up now. You are not able to go back in time and seek revenge. Isn't it? So many people, so many people. You have put money into a venture, thinking that that fellow will give you the return promised. For 3 months he gave, after 3 months, nothing. The fellow is nowhere visible. And then in your wisdom, you forgot to take his Aadhaar card and KYC. You forgot to do your KYC verification of that person. How do you feel now? Very angry with yourself. See, when you are angry, the subject matter of the anger is yourself, not the other person. The other person's behavior has caused an anger, helplessness. How could I have done this? And what is the result? Dukkha, regret. There is regret. Then tamoguna, procrastination. You have put off something for so long that a point of no return has come and you have suffered a heavy loss. Oh, I wish I had taken this initiative 3 years ago. Regret leaves you dukkha. Okay. Then Janmam, Maranam, Jara. All three of them cause dukkha. Does birth cause dukkha? A lot of people say, how can it cause dukkha? Yes. There are a lot of people for whom the birth of a girl child causes dukkha. A birth of a child with so many congenital disorders. Dukkha? Yeah. So, Janma crosses dukkha. It causes dukkha. It also causes joy, but it can cause dukkha. Okay, then Janma, Maranam, yes. Some very old fellow dies, right? Not a problem. You say at least, we are, outwardly you look very sad, but inwardly you are happy that by Gaya. He was suffering. Very often people say, he was suffering, but actually you were suffering. Our suffering is over, you don't have to say. You say, his suffering is over. So, some mrityu crosses sukham, but some mrityu causes sadness. Young, somebody dies young. Somebody on whom you are so dependent dies. Somebody you hold very dear and you are in love with that person. You think you can't live without that person. That person goes away, crosses dukkha. Yes. Janma Marana. Jara, old age causes dukkha to everybody, without exception. I am the standard. There was a person who was very philosophical in his thought. That time I was very young and impressionable. I was so impressed with what he used to say. Every talk he will begin with, my body is not able to reach where my mind wants to reach. Standard talk. Now I feel like saying, hey, shut up here, kitna baat karoge? In the same way, spirit is there. You want to do so many things. But is your body allowing? You fall down, break something. It causes pain, physical, emotional, more importantly, financial. It causes pain. So jara is a pain. There is to say, when I was working in Delhi, there was a person who said, इस बुढ़ापे से बड़ा रोग और कुछ है ही नहीं, बहुत बड़ा रोग है बुढ़ापा. Infirm, can't see. You can't put a spoonful in your mouth without spilling on your dress. Imagine as a child they put a bib around you, as an old man they put a bib around you. Okay, incontinence, problems. As a child you had no problem doing anything on the hallway. But as an older person, incontinence is a problem. Dukkha. So janma, mrityu, jara. You are free from this. That means am I free from old age? That means if you are a Brahmavid, you will not become old at all. Please understand, old age, death is the feature of this BMS, Dehi. If you are born into this body, you will go through all this. Then how are you free? How are you free? Think. We have studied. You are all Uttama Adhikari. Think. Now, is your body an object of your knowledge? Is your body an object of your knowledge? Yes. The body is an object of your knowledge. And who are you? The Chaitanyam who knows the body. Okay. Your car has a dent. Are you? You feel bad, but you don't feel lifelong bad. You are objective about the dent. So, when it comes to BMS, you are objective to Janma, Marana, Jara, Dukkham. You are objective to all these emotions. And when you are able to objectify all these emotions, all these changes, the vicissitudes of these changes don't run your life. You are free from these changes running your life. They don't grip you. They don't sink their teeth in you. You don't talk regretfully about, oh, I wish I were young. You say it's okay, it's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay. You will understand there's a lot of joy in standing and watching the parrot go by. You don't have to be in the parrot. Your grandchildren and children are having a lot of fun. You will not tell them, these days nobody takes me to these parties. They want to take you, but they don't want you to go through all the pain. So why don't you say, people go have fun. You people have fun. Post photos, perhaps send me a live video. I will clap you, applaud you from wherever I am. Try change the small paradigm shift. You are free from dukkha. That's what he wants to say here. Free from dukkha, Jaramin doesn't mean that you will start. Sorry. There is a problem these days. I won't call it a problem. There is a tendency these days. There are various organizations which are promoting senior citizens. Because once upon a time, you know what was when India got independence, you know what was the average life expectancy? It was about 35 years. When Life Insurance Corporation was formed, The average life expectancy was between 35 and 40. And anyone who lived up to 60, their Shashti Abda Purti was celebrated with da 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 da. Now everybody and his uncle has Shashti Abda Purti. Now everybody and his uncle has Satabhishekam, 80 years. People are looking forward to 100 years. So life expectancy has gone up. So there are a lot of organizations now which have come about promoting senior citizen welfare. Okay, I'm nothing against these organizations, but look at their agenda. Okay, look at their agenda. Dance competition. Okay, then fancy dress competition. As it is, you are a fancy dress fellow. And fancy dress competition. Singing competition. Dance jodi. At the end of the day, what happens? Imagine you slip and fall on stage. How are your children and grandchildren going to respond to you? There's a saying, छोटे मियाँ तो छोटे मियाँ, छोटे मियाँ, बड़े मियाँ, भाई सुभान अल्लाह. You've heard this? As an elderly person, you don't have to dance, prance, participate in competitions and prove a point. This is an inner lack. Even as an old man, I can do. Do what? Dress like Krishna. Krishna with grey beard. This must be Krishna's 100th year version. Kya baat hai? I mean, I'm nothing against people who enjoy doing all this, but this need not become an obsession. Hey, wherever you go, there are regional level contests, then all of you must go to Bombay or some place and dance around and prance around. There are this stall, that stall, this stall. You eat at the end, all these stalls at the end of the day, you are permanently wrapped up in a diaper. Ye kya baat hai? There is a maturity, there's inner growth required. The inner growth is, I don't have to win. I don't have to win at any point of time anything, especially in old age, I don't have to win. I don't have to demand and respect and command respect. Your dignity, your quiet dignity will earn you all the respect you want. That's exactly what he is trying to drive home. The moment you are free from the triggers, if you are able to objectify the triggers that want to make you prove a point to somebody, you are free from the grip of these triggers. The moment you objectify, the moment you objectify, there is inner leisure. There is a beautiful stuff. There's a lot of disk space here. Occupied by that fellow must do, this fellow must do, I must do, we must do. There are some programs that I've seen a program. In that entire old age group, there is permanently one Krishna. The Krishna has invested about 50,000 rupees on Krishna dress. And a haggard looking Krishna. Kya baat hai, joke. In the youngsters will laugh at you. They say nobody comes to our program. Who will come to your program? Why don't you do something dignified? Mahavishnu with a white French beard, how will it look? वो है ना, अपनी अपनी औकात है. There is a position where everything one has to live. It only says if you are, and this is not only for elders, even for middle ages, old up, competition, wanting to prove a point. Many a home life is destroyed because you want to prove a point. So once you are free from the triggers, from the grip of these gunas, you are free from dukkha, and that freedom is called Amritam Ashnute. That is immortality. You are not going to be judged by anybody. You don't need anybody's approval. You are going back to chapter 2. Atmani eva Atmana tushtaha. Full and happy with oneself, being yourself. That's what he wants to drive home in verse number 20. Let's see what verse number 21. Arjuna speaks. Arjuna uvacha. See, the entire Bhagavad Gita is what is called Pratibodha. There's a lesson being given. and there are doubts. I won't call it doubts. There are clarifications sought. And there are people who want a clearer understanding. They want more understanding. Okay, they seek understanding. Hey, you said like this here, you said like this here, which is correct? What should I do? Okay. Now Arjuna has a genuine doubt. You spoke about somebody who is a Trin Gunan Atita. How does he look like? Is there such a person? If there is such a person, how do I recognize him? He asks this question. Remember, he asked this question in chapter 2, chapter 2 also. Sita pragyasya gha bhasha. Okay. Samadhistasya keshava. Okay. Sita dhikkim prabhasheta. Kimasita brajeta kim. You remember this verse? He says you're talking about a balanced person. Prabhasha, how, please, paribhasha, what is him? How to please describe him? Sita pragyasya ka bhasha. Samadhistasya keshava, how does he relax? Kim prabhasheta, how does he talk? What does he talk? Kim asita, kaise baithta hai? Kim vrajeta, how does he move? He asks these questions. So these questions he is repeating here as well. What does he say? Arjuna uvacha kai kailais kailingas kailingai. Wait, what is the word there? Yeah, kailingai tringuna etan atito bhavati prabho. कैलिंगै त्रिगुणान् एतान् अतीतो भवति प्रभो किमाचारः कथं चैतान् त्रीन् गुणान् अतिवर्तते. This is the word. The word, the sandhi is very beautifully written. Okay. Kai lingaihi. What are the characteristics? Etan Trigunan. What are the characteristics, features that you see? How do I recognize a person of these three features? Hey Prabhu. Okay. Then Atita Bhavati. After he crosses over, you have told me how these are manifests. Now tell me, how does the person who has crossed over these gunans look? Okay. Atita bhavati. How do I recognize him? Kim acharaha. How does he conduct himself? Katham chaitan. Okay. Katham cha etan trigunan. Does he transcend? Katham cha etan trigunan nivartate. How did he cross over? Ativartate. Sorry. The gunan ativartate. How did he cross over? Is there a technique? You are telling me cross over. Don't let these things grip you. Don't let this happen. Don't let this happen. Don't let that happen. Hey, show me one person who has overcome all this. And show me how he has overcome. Okay? Natural. Suppose I say, hey, you should be dignified. Like I told you, no? This person must be a dignified person. It's fun to watch or stand still and watch the parade. So you can, some elderly person or anybody can ask me, show me one person who does this. If he does this, how does he do? You can ask him. And Arjuna was polite enough. He didn't say, Aapko aata hai kya? Do you do all this? He didn't ask this question. He said, you know how to do? Lecture dete ho. You don't ask teachers such questions. That is our Shraddha. That's the respect inbuilt. He said, please show me one person. And Krishna could have said, I am that person. Krishna didn't say that. That's the beauty. See, the student says, Hey, show me one person. Like it very often happens. We do Vedanta lectures and things like that. At the end of the day, somebody will ask me this question. Sir, tell me, how do I find a good guru? I feel like rolling on the floor and crying. A guru and uske upar good guru, and this fellow wants to go and find. So sometimes I feel like saying, don't I look like a good guru? Do I look like a rowdy guru or something? These are questions that crop up. We don't ask those questions. So Krishna doesn't say, you want to know who has crossed over three gunas? Look at me. He didn't say that. That is the beauty of the teaching. The teacher never says, I did it, therefore you do it. The teacher always says, you can do it. You have come so far, you will go further. So that is the question that was raised. Krishna answers. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava na dveshti sampravartani na nivrittani kankshati na dveshti sampravartani na nivrittani kankshati. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Krishna speaks, he says, Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva. Here Arjuna is being addressed as O Pandava. Because Pandavas have gone through all this. He says, Arjuna, you have gone through all this. You have gone through all this. Like today in the morning you went through this. You didn't want to fight the war. You didn't want to fight the war. And you had Rajoguna, he said, Stenayor, Ubayor, Madhye, Ratam Sthapayamim. Put my rath in between both the chariot armies. I want to say, Kaun mujhse ladne aako aaya hai. Then suddenly he says, how can I fight my tata? And then you asked me questions like, how do I look like? So you have gone through all this, hey Pandava. He says, Prakasham. Prakasham is brightness. Sattva guna is manifest in the form of brightness. Prakasham. Cha pravrittim cha. Activity orientation. Activity orientation is the manifestation of Rajoguna. Moham evacha. Moham means delusion, self-doubt, fatalism. All these are where the mind is not available for vichara. So prakasham, pravrittim, cha moham, cha pandava. All these are possible. Brightness, activity, and delusion come to occur in everyone. But how does this person, Atita, one who has gone beyond the gunas, how does he respond? Na dveshti sampravrittani. So sampravrittani means that which have come to occur. Pravritti, some unfavorable situation. Okay, pravritti, some situations that have come, good, bad, indifferent. Na dve, na dveshti. He does not resent these situations, and he does not despise those situations. Na nivrittani kankshati. He does not long for good times. He does not despise bad times. He does not resent bad times. He does not long for good times. Understand this carefully. Don't say, how can it be? How can it be? Yes, it is like that. We cannot be. Do you mean to say I don't long for good times? Do you mean to say I enjoy all the bad times that come to me? Does any one of you enjoy all the bad times? So many things are. It's not like it has to be understood like that. See, when situations come to you, pleasant or unpleasant, they are not coming to you only because of your actions. You are a karma hetu, not karma phala hetu. Karmanyevadhikaraste phaleshu kadachana. You read it long ago. So you are karma hetu, not karma phala hetu. Who is karma phala hetu? Ishvara. When karma phala comes to you, pleasant results come to you, you say Ishvara prasada. Ishvara prasada. Unpleasant results come to you. Ishvara prasada. That's how you take it. You don't let the results once again dictate your current disposition, your present disposition, that calmness, that dignity, that elegance that you are, that undisturbed, peaceful being that you are. You don't let these shake you. These things happen. When they happen, I don't say I'm thrilled with the good things that bad things that happen to me. I am not happy. Certain things happen over which I am not happy. I don't want it to happen. And I don't hesitate telling you. But I add a line. And the person to whom I say this also understands that these things can happen, but this is not going to disturb my composure. Okay. You can't tell me you can't feel like this because the feeling is not in my hands. The feelings can come, but I assure you that it is not going to disturb my composure. Even if it disturbs, I will get back to equilibrium immediately. FIR. Do you remember what I told you long ago? FIR. Frequency of emotional disturbances come down. Intensity of emotional disturbances come down. Recovery time goes up. FIR management. So that person, when that time comes, I'm okay. Definitely this. Small things can upset you. Small things can upset you. A traffic, stuck in traffic, you can get upset. Open the tap, water doesn't come, you can go crazy. Anything can upset you. When it happens, what do? You don't despise the situation. You say, yeah, okay, fine. There are two ways you can handle the situations. You can do something about it, or it is a choiceless situation. Suppose there is a power failure. Do you have a UPS? Okay, and is the UPS charged? Then power should come on. You don't have a UPS. Does it get you anywhere by cursing the power situation? So maybe you are unhappy. We are doing a session, suddenly the power goes off. I get angry. There are two things we manage. Not just I, anybody manages. One, we will not use profanities. We will not use abusive language. We will not curse. At best, I can say, oh God, is this the time to go? That's perfectly okay. But then I don't let it spoil my day. I said, okay, let's do something. Let's switch on a small lamp or something and let's connect it to what's that? Hotspot and continue our talk. We have done it so many days. So there are certain situations over which you have control. There are certain situations over which you have no control. What do? Ishvara, give me the titiksha to handle this situation. Yeah? So when bad times come, you don't despise. When good times come, you don't long for it. I wish I had this. I wish I had. Let's go back to those days. There's a big bore these days again. Everybody starts. The moment you get together, all of them in their 70s or something, they will say. For 25 paise, I used to have Coca-Cola. For 5 paise, I used to have candy floss. So what you had it, and how often will you repeat? Don't long for good times. Don't despise bad times. That's what he says. Read it again carefully. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Prakasham cha pravirtim cha mohameva cha pandava. So each one of you, all three gunas will be there. How do you recognize Sattva Guna? When bad times come, you don't do dvesha, you don't despise. When good times come, and good times also have to go away sometime. When good times go, you don't long for that. So Trishna, they say, Trishna means that never ending thirsts. That in Tamil they call it ekam. That is not there. FIR management is high. Such a person is the character of such a person. They go through your life, you have all Bhagavad Gita chapter 14 students, all advanced Uttama Adhikari, all of you have these capacities. I personally know almost every one of you here, and I know you are blessed in abundance with this. You are able to handle. And some here are so capable enough to advise, tell me, sir, you should handle this situation like this. So we are all capable enough. Everybody goes through this, and we are capable enough of handling. Shri Krishna highlights verse number 22. Let's see what does he say in verse number 23. He adds a few more features. Okay. Udasina vadasino gunairyo na vichalyate guna vartanta ityeva yo vatishtati nengate. Beautiful one, Udasina vadasino gunairyo na vichalyate guna vartanta ityeva yo vatishtati nengate. So he says, yaha udasinavat asina. Udasinavat means as though indifferently. If something has happened in next door neighbor's house, you are busy doing something. Do you rush there immediately? Udasinavat asina. Indifferent to things happening around you. Indifferent here means not getting enmeshed in the problems of the role. Roles will have issues. You are not rolled into the role. You have the objectivity to stand apart. Udasinavat asina. Remaining as though indifferent. Okay? He is not shaken, na vichalyate, by the gunas. The gunas are there. In the presence, the features of the gunas make some roles respond in certain particular manner. What can be done about that? The initiative is taken, but I don't get enmeshed, enrolled. I, the role player, and the role don't get rolled into one. I don't enmesh myself into the role, and I'm able to see the problems of the role. Step back and see. Udasinavat adi asina. So you are playing a role, and you have, lustrous, lovely hair, very lustrous hair, and the role requires you shave them clean. As a role player, what will you do? Kar do yaar, uda do. Sir, uda do. Udasinavat asina. The role demands that I should not have hair. Shave it off. How does it matter? It will grow back. What if it doesn't grow back? कोई फर्क नहीं पैंदा. I love this Punjabi thing. की फर्क पैंदा? कोई फर्क नहीं पैंदा. Udasinavat asina. My Swami used to say, when I fall sick, how do I do udasina asina? Is it either the disease will go or I will go? And he will laugh. And when our Puja Swami Dayanandji was going through dialysis 3 days a week, sometimes it increased to 5 days a week. But he was, we used to be pained seeing him go through all this. And when I met him once and asked him, Swamiji, how are you? He smiles. Not just smiles, chuckles. He says, for my age, I am okay. I was thrilled to listen to this, as though his body and he are two different. The body is some the equipment lying somewhere. Swamiji, all this, huh? Let them do. Let them do what they want to do. So we have seen people who have lived like this. We have personally gone through so many things. Personally, I know a couple of people who have gone through a lot of things in life. And when we go through these things, the gunas, the changing gunas, don't shake me because I have developed this capacity, udasinavat asina, the capacity. Okay, and how do you see? What is the inner narrative? The gunas are acting, the role is responding. I am the role player watching the play. It calls for a tremendous amount of inner growth. You are chapter 14, so you would have achieved this growth. This is what he says in verse number 23. The one who does not move from the vision of the self. I am Parabrahma Chaitanya Swarupam. Remember morning meditation. Tat Brahma Nishkalamaham. I am that Brahman. I am that knower. I am that Chaitanyam. Nacha Bhuta Sangaha. All that is happening around me are events of which I am witness. Therefore, I am never shaken from my vision. I see all that is happening around me objectively. Requires emotional growth, requires preparation. You are in chapter 14. All of you are Uttama Adhikari. The more you do Nididhyasanam on this, you will be able to see the change. I'm all sure all of you are already, many of you are the younger people who are seeing these changes. So a lot of youngsters are here, people in their early 40s and were able to see this and appreciate this. So you will be able to see this. We will see in our next session what he says further. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्य परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय स्वामी दयानंद महाराज की जय सब संतों की जय जय हो we'll meet again next week.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.